In resource therapy, there is this concept of resource mapping, and my understanding is that, thinking from this concept that we all have different parts which are out at different times, and sometimes they get together, and sometimes they get along, sometimes they don't. Resource therapy is a great tool to help re-establish and maintain even this inner balance. Many people use this concept of inner balance or inner harmony, but that in itself presupposes that it has to be a balance between something and another thing. When we talk about resource therapy and we're talking about mapping, what exactly is mapping doing?
Okay. Each of us has our own resource map. In other words, as a child, I may have learned to be a joke teller.
Yeah.
I may not have. I may have lived in a family that would said, "Gordon, be quiet," if I tried to tell a joke, and I wouldn't have developed that resource. Yeah. So I have different resources than you do. Each person has different resources, and our resources are in different levels of health. Some people have a work resource and a rest resource. They're in conflict, and they'll come home and they will feel like, I've got to get work done, but they find themselves doing something else. And the part that is doing something else, watching TV or taking a break, hears this noise in their head, you've got to get busy, you're a lazy slob. And the part that is wanting them to do some work is thinking, I've got to get this work done. You are a lazy slob. And the resting part is thinking, you're a slave driver. And so you have this conflict.
Yes.
In resource mapping, you bring out one state at a time, and it's a little bit like a checkup for a car.
Oh, okay.
Where the client comes in with a purpose to see what states they have, what states would be.
So first you go through the identifying stage.
You go through an identifying stage. I first wrote about this in my 2003 book, Ego State Therapy, and at that time I was calling it Ego State Mapping.
Yes.
But since I've changed over to resource therapy, it's basically the same thing. It's resource mapping, and we're finding what resources we have. When a person knows what resources they have, they can better bring those resources out. If I'm stuck in traffic, I want a resource out that is there in traffic that can look around the car and around the places and enjoy that time more than the wrong resource that would be just aggravated that traffic isn't moving. So it's very healthy to learn our parts. By learning our parts, we can see which parts may be in conflict, which parts may be carrying trauma.
Yes.
And so it's sort of a personality checkup and learning about our personalities also. It's a very good thing to do.
Excellent. Thank you very again.